The Democrats are on the wrong side of history again. They kept telling us Donald Trump was Hitler. Well, Hitler just negotiated the release of 20 Israeli hostages and brought peace to the Middle East.
Well, shit.
First of all, that turn of events is objectively hilarious. They put all their eggs in the he's a genocidal dictator basket, and then he turned out to have more in common with Winston Churchill.
Let me see how that looks.
Now, I know some of you might think Winston Churchill was the bad guy, but going on. Although with all the anti-Semitism on the left these days, I guess helping the Jews probably wouldn't make them think much better of him. They'll just have to find a new dictator to compare him to. One that liked the Jews and hated communism, I guess. Did Mao like the Jews? The left resembles all the dictators when you really start thinking about it. At best, we're dealing with a Woodrow Wilson when we're talking about Trump. Trump, who was working at McDonald's a year ago, proves that in America, you can truly achieve anything. This guy went from performatively firing people on a reality TV show.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
To negotiating the most historic peace accord in world history. And somehow, I can't shake the feeling that in both cases, he barely tried.
This is so easy.
He's not a narcissist, you guys. I take it all back. He's simply the center of the universe. I can no longer hold it against him that he thinks he's more important than everyone else. He is. I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty good about my vote today. I didn't have world peace on my Trump bingo card, but the man is full of surprises.
Yes, he's back.
The prophecies about Trump being a King Cyrus figure destined to destroy evil and free the Jews has apparently come true.
Please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump. Please.
I would say God works in mysterious ways, but he really doesn't seem to be hiding the ball on this. Donald Trump is, I'm sorry for those who don't want to hear it, a force for good in this world. Yes, even though he called Haiti a shithole that one time. It is a shithole.
Like when Godzilla attacked Haiti.
Oh my God.
So now the 20 remaining live hostages have been returned to Israel, and now perhaps the Palestinians
The land of make-believe.
can find a way to live in peace with the Israeli Jews. To be clear, they don't need to also find a way to live in peace with each other because, of course, Palestinians are already being executed in the streets by, you guessed it, Hamas. And, of course, it's making the news just as much as black-on-black crime in Chicago. Because when people of color attack one another, the white reporters, well, they just go home.
I, Cleveland Brown, a black man, shot Cleveland Brown Jr., another black man.
I mean, it makes sense. If everyone involved is black or brown, what can the white journalist virtue signal about? I've just been watching the hostage videos. They're so uplifting, and it's got to be so crazy to live through that experience, make it out. I know the whole country of Israel has many mixed emotions because they're like people didn't come home. It's just so many feelings. But the hostages, it must be the weirdest of all, obviously, for the hostages. When everybody was waiting for them to be released, I was like, imagine how long the minutes are for these guys. But the hostages must be having such a surreal experience, feeling safe for the first time in years, getting to do normal things like shower and see sunlight and loved ones, and of course, find out that they're being rescued because of the actions of a U.S. president that, last they heard, was definitely going to jail.
Breaking news, former President Donald Trump has just been indicted on federal charges after a months-long investigation.
They'll also find out that he survived 2 assassination attempts and that apparently Tucker Carlson hates them. I do wonder, what would this look like if Kamala was president? It would be from the river to the sea, I think. I am curious if the media in the coming interviews with these former hostages will ask them whether they think they would be free today if Joe Biden or Kamala Harris were president. I think we all know the answer to that.
How about no?
No. Donald Trump bringing world peace is the best example of the horse being loose in the hospital but knowing how to operate the elevator that I've ever seen.
I didn't know he knew how to do that.
Oh, he's doing something good?
No, and it's a kind of a play on that scene in Aliens when Ripley sees that the Queen can suddenly figure out how to use the elevator and is coming up, and you're like, oh shit, it's getting smarter, or it's smarter than I thought it was.
Like in Jurassic Park when they open doors.
Clever girl.
Clever girl.
Clever girl.
Maybe he's not a horse in a hospital. Maybe we don't need a metaphor. I know this is tough, but maybe, just maybe, he's a good president. Although now that I've said that out loud, I'm sure he'll undermine me before this broadcast is even aired. He'll be like, Egypt wants me to be king. I'm getting rid of the Constitution. Egypt gave me a necklace. They think I should be king. I mean, even him standing there with all those world leaders, I do agree with Malice that we don't deserve him. He had like Macron and all these people who did literally nothing but undermine this entire process. And he was joking about how they ran down there with 20 minutes notice, and then he broke Macron's hand, I think, in one of his signature power handshakes. And he was just being Trump. Like, there's really, I can't believe how far we've come. Would you have thought that this was going to be the case?
I could not have imagined, but most of it is what I voted for. So, and what I had you vote for. So,
Jared made me vote this way.
Kidding. It's not true.
No, I made him vote this way. Just kidding.
Truth is out.
The truth is out. Either way, the pro-Palestinian side of this will continue to lose their mind. They've gone from calling it a genocide to looking back on it as a Holocaust. And Mehdi Hassan had to delete a tweet in which he said, Gaza is worse than the Holocaust.
Can you shut the up?
The genocide argument has always been stupid. Not to mention, if a genocide is what's been happening in Gaza, then the Israelis really, really suck at it because there's a shitload of them left. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying there's a lot of them left. But it was never about numbers. These Palestinian genocide activists and debating podcasters would have been more honest if they had just said, we don't think Israel should exist. That's what they were chanting. It's what from the river to the sea means. And now the silence from everyone demanding a ceasefire, when the ceasefire finally happens, is making it quite clear that Israel not existing was their only real objective. Why are they quiet on this day of peace? Because they aren't happy there's peace. They wanted this to be the end of Israel. But like their favorite Hamas cheerleading influencer, they f***ed around and found out. However, the media is still weaving their webs of propaganda. In an article from CNN headlined, "See how 2 years of war, loss, and heartbreak has changed these Palestinians in Gaza," they go out of their way to misremember what started all of this. In the very first sentence of the article, it says, "It's been 2 years since Israel launched its war in Gaza, and life in the enclave has never been harder." That is the most insane sentence I have ever read. These people, Hamas, parachuted into a music festival and ran into kibbutz and randomly murdered over 1,200 people just going about their day. They raped, pillaged, stole, kidnapped, and have held hundreds of hostages throughout the last 2 years. And somehow it is Israel who launched a war in Gaza. They got so dunked on for that statement, they had to change it. And then in the editor's note, they said a statement in the original paragraph has been changed to reflect context or something crazy like that. It's like, even that's not totally accurate. This would be like saying it's been 24 years since American Airlines attacked the World Trade Center. It's been 84 years since America launched its war on Japan at Pearl Harbor. And it's only been 1 year since Donald Trump killed a man at a rally by dodging the bullet intended for him. Okay, so it all seems like good news. What's the bad news? Surely someone loses in all of this. Yes, they do. The podcasters. We must think of the podcasters. They put it all on the line, and they've lost.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
What will they do now? Where will they pivot? Some will call for war crime tribunals, and many others will start focusing on ICE. But the smart ones will do something completely unexpected. The smart ones will go back to doing stand-up.